Okay, so here we are in Lesson 8, Dividing Fractions and Mixed Numbers. So you should be on page 13 of your note packet. So this lesson is very similar to the last video that you watched, but now we're adding some mixed numbers in. So first we're going to do our steps for dividing mixed numbers. So the first and most important thing, same thing for multiplying, is that you need to change mixed numbers to improper fractions. Alright, so that's your first step. And then the rest of the steps are the same as before. Then you multiply by the reciprocal. And then the third step is to check for cross division. Step number 4 is just to multiply across. And then the fifth step, the most important always, is to simplify. Alright, so we're just going to do some few examples and then that's all we'll have for this lesson. So, number 1 is 5/6 divided by 9/2. So no mixed numbers here, so this is kind of a warm-up. So we have 5/6 then times 2/9. So if we cross divide, we can divide both the 2 and the 6 by 2. So we get 1 and we get 3. So our final answer here would be 5/27. Alright. Number 2 here, we have 2/5 divided by 1 and 7/25. So first, we need to make this an improper fraction. So we keep the 2/5 divided by, and now remember, for changing the improper fractions, we multiply the first two. So 25 times 1 is 25, and then we add the 7, and 25 plus 7 is 32. So our numerator is 32, over, we keep the denominator of 25, and now we're just back to our normal steps. So then we multiply by the reciprocal. So we have 2/5 times 25/32. We check for cross division, which we have. We can divide 5 and 25 by 5, so we get 1, and we get 5. And then we can divide 2 and 32 both by 2, so we get a 1 up top, and a 16 on the bottom. So then, our final answer here, if we multiply across, would be 5/16, which we can't simplify any further, so this is our final answer. Okay. Number 3 here, we have 5/6 times 2/9, so we're just multiplying, but we can't cross divide. We can divide 2 and 6 by 2, so we get 1 and we get 3. So our final answer here would be 5/27, which we cannot simplify, so that's our final answer. Alright, down here for number 4, we have 2/5 divided by 3 4/7. So first we keep the 2/5, divide, now we have to change this to an improper fraction, so we multiply the first two. So 7 times 3 is 21, plus 4 gives us 25/7, keep the denominator. Now we multiply by the reciprocal, so we get 2/5 times 7/25. And then we check for cross division, which, if we look here, we don't really have any. Alright, so then our answer would be 7 times 2 is 14, and 5 times 25 would be 125. Alright, and then our last one here, number 5, we have 8 3/4 divided by 2 5/8. So first we need to change both of these to improper fractions. So in the first one, 4 times 8 is 32, plus 3 gives us 35, keep the denominator over 4, divided by 8 times 2 is 16, plus 5. Okay, so we've done 8 times 2 is 16, plus another 5 gives us a 21. We keep the denominator of 8. So then we multiply by the reciprocal, so we have 35 over 4 times 8 over 21. Okay, and you can cross divide both ways here. So for the 8 and the 4, we can divide them both by 4 to get a 1 and a 2. Now if we look at 35 and 21, it might take a little bit to think about it, but you can divide both of those by 7. So if we divide them both by 7, this becomes 5, and this becomes a 3. And now if we just multiply across, we get 10 over 3, which we can't simplify anymore. So that is our final answer. Alright, don't worry about the next page for right now. This is all I want to worry about. So if you have any questions, bring those into class tomorrow. But other than that, that is all for lesson 8.